Morning. Thank you for joining us. My name is Sean McCary. I'm the EVP of Sales here at Midwest Cloud Computing. And on my right, the founder and owner of Midwest Cloud Computing, Raymond Guerin. Thanks for joining me here today, boss.
Appreciate it.
Yes. So today we're going to delve into managed help desk, what a good help desk looks like, but more so in kind of how we got here and why our customers are so happy with this service. So just jumping right into it, boss. Help desk background experience. Can you share some of the early experiences you had designing and leading help desk operations?
Sure. Before I decided to start businesses, I was the techie guy. I was the stereotypical, super tech who fixed everything, had an attitude as big as Texas, its own zip code and all that. And I would always get the call. And I would get phone calls that ranged from, can you reset my password, all the way down to our site's completely down. And from that, I became very popular with my customers, the other people in the departments, because I did it with a smile. I liked what I was doing, I liked the people that I was serving, and I really wanted to make it work for them. Rolling the clock forward, I took a position with IBM Global Services, and I was in charge of the Omaha Theater, as IBM called it. I was the ranking member for Omaha, and I worked on the Avaya account. If you all remember, that big giant building over off of L Street in between 120th and 132nd, that used to be Avaya. They made cables and they made cabinets there. And they also had a facility out in Basking Ridge, New Jersey. And they, working for IBM Global Services, they had outsourced all their technology to IBM. And of course, I was in charge of that. And I noticed that the service offering for the internal employees and some external customers, it was awful. I mean, it was really bad. And I coined the phrase, the helpless desk, because when people called in, they never really got their problem solved, or they were never very happy. And I decided that there's a much better way to do this. And what I did is I teamed up with a local partner, Planet Consulting. Jeff Warren, how are you? And what we're able to do is bring low-cost resources to the table, excuse me, and create a center of excellence for a help desk that served not only Omaha, Nebraska, but also served Basking Ridge at the same time. We were able to create processes, we were able to create good documentation, which can be the lifeblood of a help desk. When you're talking about low-cost resources, a lot of times there's some high turnover in those spaces. And you want to have those processes documented. So that's very important. Excuse me. The help desk for IBM/Avaya was very, very popular. They used it in some of their other divisions because wire and cable was not the only thing that they did. They did a lot of switches, they did a lot of other networking environment. So our help desk grew and grew and just kept growing. Roll the clock forward, I had left IBM Global Services, and along that path, I ended up working for eBay. And eBay out of San Jose, I was located at the PayPal one-story building. Now, I believe it's Peter Kiewitz out there now. Mm-hmm. But with eBay, what eBay had done is out in their San Jose theater or campus, they had 4 very high-paid help desk people. And they really weren't my definition of help desk. I called them order takers. You call in, they would enter your data into a ticket and just hang up the phone. To me, that's not help desk. So I got rid of those folks, and I brought in some other folks. Again, I used Planet Consulting, and I moved the help desk from San Jose to Omaha, Nebraska in the PayPal one story. And what we're able to do is we created a global service desk versus a help desk. What a global service desk, or my vision of that, was there were several stations that were basically help desk centers. So I had an office in China, I had an office in Germany, I had an office in Omaha, and I had an office in San Jose. And what we did from a help desk perspective is we basically did a follow the sun type of thing where, it started in China, then it would move to Germany, then it would come to Omaha, and then it would come to San Jose. But more importantly, what we thrived for was, how do we know we're successful? How can you put give a thumbs up to what you're doing, and let's be honest about it. The face of IT in any organization, don't care what you do, the face of IT is your help desk and it's your intranet. Everything else is great, all those servers and blinking lights and all that stuff, but it's the customers. They see the help desk when they call in and they have a problem, and every day they go into the intranet. In many cases, it's the homepage for an organization. So you have basically a big rock to push up a hill. You've got to make people understand that you know what you're doing and you're helping them with their problems. The eBay Global Service Desk was very, very, very successful. The folks loved it. And one thing that I've always found in the world of help desk is you have one person who's kind of the superstar, or the person that everybody wants to come to. And make no mistake, don't put them in a back room. Have them on those phones. Have them talking to your customers. So that's a little bit about my background in this. I truly believe that a help desk should be a center of excellence. You should put the resources into it to make it very effective and make it very popular.
No, thank you, boss. And talking about designing a help desk and having that rock star and making them the face of IT and accessible, what channels do you see for communication channels do you consider essential?
Right. I would say back in 2000 to 2010, there was a lot of talk in the help desk world and the service desk world about a multi-channel contact center. And what that means is your people are basically, for all intents and purposes, they're call agents, they're customer service agents, telemarketers. The various channels, there's always going to be email. There's obviously always going to be phone. But then what you can do is you can bring on another channel where you're doing interactive chat with the customer. The other things that you can bring to the table is with CTI. Basically, that's a smart telephone system, for lack of a better term. And you can bring in what's called skills-based routing. You can also bring in multi-language. So if you want, if you have people that in your organization, a good percentage that speak Spanish, you can basically route those calls to agents that speak Spanish. There's many, many different things that you can do. But again, it's the juice has to be worth the squeeze. Having all sorts of different channels, quite honestly, if you don't manage it correctly and you don't set it up, it can be very, very confusing for your agents. They really don't know what they're doing that day. And the other thing is, if you basically blend all of those channels with a single 1, 2, or 3 agents, they're going to get really confused. Mm-hmm. 1 minute they're answering the phone, next minute they're grabbing a chat, the third one they're answering emails, so on and so forth. That creates agent burnout. It's just not a good thing for the agent. So I would suggest, if you're building a new help desk or you want to start over with what you have, 2 channels, phone and email.
Okay. All right. So part of our challenge in the MSP world is that we don't have just one environment or one group of customers. And I really do like how you want your help desk people to look at their end users as customers, because that's really what they are. You're providing a service to them. Now, our challenge in the MSP world is we are dealing with different industries, different cultures at different companies. How do you determine which channels best fit a client's user base or support goals?
Right. Well, it's a matter of, I would always look at what has worked in the past. If people predominantly use the phone, then I'm going to focus on the phone as a primary channel. Mm-hmm. You don't want to upset the apple cart, because what can occur, and it's really the kiss of death for a help desk, is people will just sit on their hands. I know this isn't working. I need some help with Excel, but you know what? Last time I called the help desk, they said they moved it to email or an online chat type of thing, or worst case scenario, they moved it over to India. Um, you look at what works and you build on top of it. You augment it with other channels. And then it's measurement, measurement, measurement. You know, are my customers satisfied? Am I doing the job? You have to introduce metrics for not only to show the people that you're effective, but to show leadership. And that's what we do at Midwest Cloud Computing is we want to make sure that you as a customer, you know that we're doing the job. You know that your customers are satisfied. You know, the number one measurement you're always going to get in the MSP space in an outsourced help desk, how many tickets do you handle? Okay. And what's going to happen is here's the number of tickets we handled this month, second month, third month, divide that into the cost. Does that make sense? Well, that's fine. And I've done that, and I've been in situations where that really was the prime directive. But more importantly, you know, metrics like first contact or first close on contact, that means someone called in and when they hung up the phone, their ticket was closed and they're happy and you solved their problem. That's a very, very important metric. Another one is your telephony. The kiss of death is what I call ring no answer. That's when someone calls your help desk and they wait and they wait and they wait. And finally, they just give up. You really need to stay away from those because those are the ones that are going to kill you. Another one is set up some sort of, solicitation for how we did. When a ticket closes, send the customer a ticket. How did we do? Get that information from them. And, if you're gamey and you've got a robust intranet, basically do some recordings like what we're doing here. Have some customers speak on your behalf. Again, your presence as a technology organization is your help desk and it's your intranet. Use them both effectively to basically toot your own horn.
Great answer, boss. So we've talked about your experience in some enterprise scenarios and enterprise environments, and bringing that experience into designing it and then measuring it. But when we talk about, okay, we've actually onboarded them and we've measured everything, why would you expect a managed services provider that has those enterprise type processes to result in a better outcome for a small and mid-sized business versus them trying to hire an IT person themselves?
Certainly. Continuity within your help desk is important. Like I said, you're going to have a champion of your help desk, and you want them answering the phones. You want those employees or those customers talking to that person that they're very comfortable with. It sets the tone for a very good interaction. I think it's important to engage some sort of a partner from a people perspective. Like I mentioned, I used Planet Consulting. Of course, Planet Consulting is long gone, but they were very useful because what they did is they handled the management of the people. If you have a help desk with 4 or 5 people, I would bring in Planet Consulting. They would provide the people. They would do the interviewing, they would do the hiring, they would do some of the training, and they would place them in my organization. I would get continuity with them because if Fred was sick that morning or was going to be out for an extended period of time, it was on Planet Consulting to get me another person, get me another resource. And that was how I, as a consumer, measured those agencies. Again, all the same stuff, the ticket closed on first contact and bring no answer and all that stuff. But I judged them based on their people performance. The other thing is, in that people performance space, and along with that, you don't have to worry about time off. You don't have to worry about vacations. You don't have to worry about sick time. You've got a constant flow of people because you've brought in an organization to manage those people for you. Another opportunity is cost. Um, Cost of a W-2 employee can be fairly expensive. Where when you're dealing with an agency, you have an opportunity for a lower cost resource. That's what we do at Midwest Cloud Computing. We have a fully staffed help desk, and we basically are available 24 by 7.
Mm-hmm.
Your home built or part of your company help desk, it's generally 8 to 5. After 5 o'clock, if you've got someone who's working late, they don't have any support. Their support comes in at 8 o'clock in the morning. With an outsourced help desk partner like Midwest Cloud Computing, we answer the phone when you need to talk with us. We have escalation points. We manage anything from, during 8 to 5, we'll fix anything. We'll fix your Excel problems, we'll fix your email problems, and all that type of stuff. But at 2 o'clock in the morning, when there's a massive power outage based on the weather, we're there. And we're going to help you get things back up and basically help communicate with your people about local disasters and all of that type of stuff. I mean, we're always on the clock, so to speak. So you're covered. While you're sleeping, we're watching.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Managed help desk, there's a lot of advantages to it. We'd love to explore that more with you. Please feel free to give us a call at 402-702-5000 or check out our website at www.midcloudcomputing.com. Boss, thanks for spending some time with me here and sharing that with the people out there.
My pleasure, and thank you all for listening.